Oops, caught me out. Good afternoon, world of Facebook. How are you today? I am really cold today. I live in a house that has no central heating, which is probably one of the reasons I very rarely actually catch a cold. But I've been really cold lately. Do you like my muffs? The thing is, I can't hear a fucking thing. So I have to take them off. Yeah, hat hair. So I want to know, Donna Michelle Hamsley here, mindset coach, perfectly imperfect human being. I want you to put your hand up if you've ever been a procrastinator, if you've ever put something off to do later. I put my hand up. I want you to put your hand up if you've ever said or thought to yourself, oh, I just can't get myself motivated. Here is the thing. Okay, we seem to think that motivation is this thing that is going to suddenly strike. Oh, I forgot to say, this is day 5 of 7 steps to an even greater, healthier, happier version of you, helping you achieve your goals, aims, and intentions this year. So if you've gone through the first few days, you'll have set your positive intention and made it a win-win situation. You will have written your to-don't list of things you're not going to do, like not comparing yourself to others, all those kind of things, not getting stressed and blah, blah, blah. You will have an idea in your mind of your perfect life, your vision of a perfect life, because as I said before, if you don't know what you want, you don't know where you want to go, life, the universe, God, whoever, cannot direct you there. It's like setting off on holiday with no map, no idea where you're going. You will have accepted that nothing runs smoothly. You know I said set yourself up for fail, but I didn't really mean fail because I don't like the word fail, but it was more a case of once you accept that you'll hit bumps in the road, it's not such a shock when you do, and you don't use it as an excuse to give up, because us humans are very good at using excuses. It's like, oh, that's gone wrong, I'm going to give up. And you will have also learnt that it's who you become as you work to achieve your goals that is as, if not more important than actually achieving those goals. But where a lot of people hit a stumbling block is when it comes to motivation. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, because most people's resolutions, as it were, involve big lifestyle changes like lose weight, get fit, cut out alcohol, blah, blah, blah. January often isn't the best month to do it because it's still cold and dark and grey. We've got like the kind of natural down post-Christmas blues, and our bodies are craving kind of warming foods and craving rest and nurturing. And if we try and suddenly make big changes to our lifestyle, it's a shock for the body. And that's one of the reasons that people tend to quit with those kind of resolutions, which is why I often say small changes, make small changes that can fit into your routine. I always say to people, if you want to get fitter, for example, set a target of doing 10 minutes. Hey, gorgeous, how you doing, my lovely? Set a target of 10 minutes a day. And you might think, well, that's pointless. Why 10 minutes? And here's why. Because everyone can find 10 minutes. Everyone, absolutely everyone can find 10 minutes out of their day. No matter how tired, whatever you are, you can find 10 minutes. And the thing is, once you get started, and this is what I did this myself as well, a few years ago, I had a video which had like 10-minute sections, exercise video. Once you get started, you are more than likely to do another 10 minutes and maybe another 10 minutes. So you've ended up doing 40 minutes. But if you only do your 10 minutes, you've still ticked off that target for the day. Whereas if you set yourself up saying, I'm going to go to the gym every day for an hour, this, that, and the other, you'll have a day when you feel tired and you feel drained and it's cold and you don't want to go outside and you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And the same thing will happen. And you're kind of setting yourself up to fail. So setting those smaller targets means that you've got no excuses. No matter how tired or how busy you are, you can find those 10 minutes. So it's about setting targets along the way to your main goal, aim, and intention, dream, whatever it is you want, that are easily achievable so that you don't look at them and think, oh, that's just too hard today, and give up. But today we're going to talk about motivation, because I hear it all the time. Oh, I just can't motivate myself. I've done it myself. Oh, I'm just really lacking motivation today. Oh, I just can't get going. And the thing is, all motivation is the reason to do something. If you look it up in the dictionary, it's a reason to do something. Now, there are people out there who've got like diabetes, who are overweight, who are having limbs amputated, etc. They have got more than enough reasons to change their diet, to take some exercise, to look after themselves, yet they don't. You know, you'll do it. You know, when I was a smoker, my lungs were struggling, I couldn't breathe. I had more than enough reason to stop, but I didn't. So motivation is just a reason for doing something. It's not something that's going to strike you while you're sat on the sofa. You know, if you're sat there waiting for motivation to strike, it doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. It's like a paradox. We need to act our way into feeling instead of feeling our way into acting. So if you're waiting until you feel like doing something, you're often going to be waiting a long time. Whereas as soon as you take action, you will then start to feel it. And I use the gym because it's an example that most people can relate to. So say you're sat there, it's cold and dark, in this country it is, and you're like thinking, I really don't feel like it. If you don't think about it, if you just get up, you put on your gym kit and you go, and once you get to the gym, you start feeling good. You have the feeling that you were waiting for when you were sat on your ass. And it's the same with anything. You know, you want to change your career or something, and you're kind of waiting for the right opportunity. The thing is, it's when we take action that opportunities present. I just saw a quote, actually. Someone just shared a quote that was like, oh, I'm just about to do a live on something like this, which was, stop talking yourself out of opportunities because you don't feel ready yet. And we do it all the time. We tell ourselves we're not ready, we're not good enough, we haven't got the energy, we haven't got the time, this, that, and the other. And I know, because I do it myself, most of the time that's bullshit. It's an excuse, absolute excuse. And one of the main reasons we make those excuses is because there's a fear somewhere, or it's a pain versus pleasure principle. And the thing is, it doesn't matter about getting it right. It only matters about getting started. It doesn't matter how you begin, as long as you begin. And the thing is, if you look at universal laws, the law of diminishing intent, which basically says the longer you put something off, the less likely you are to do it. So say you've gone into January and you're like, yes, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, but I'll start tomorrow. And then the next day it's like, oh, well, I'm a bit busy today, I'll start tomorrow. Oh, no. And so on and so forth. Your intention, your passion, your yes, I'm going to do it, diminishes. But it also can work in reverse. So once you start something, even if you start small, I always say small steps equal big results. You start off with your 10 minutes a day and you feel good because you've achieved something, you know, because when we say we're going to do something and we don't do it, we become disheartened and we start to think of ourselves as a failure. And that can leak into all areas of our life. And so we have the kind of attitude of, why bother? Because I always give up. There's no point me even trying, even though it's an unconscious thought. Because of a lot of our thoughts, a lot of our wiring, the way our brain is wired, is unconscious. So we get used to not starting things, not doing things, because the back of our mind thinking, well, I give up anyway, so what the fucking point? I won't even bother starting, and then I won't have to fail. But the more you do something, even if it's a small, tiny step, it kind of builds that confidence muscle and it gets you into action, which is one of the laws, universal laws, the law of action. And the law of action basically is nothing will happen unless you're in motion. So whatever you want in life, whether you want to get in a healthy, happy relationship, whether you want to change a career, whether you want to get fitter, whether you want to get more confidence, whether you want to start a business, nothing is going to happen until you move. Imagine, I was using an analogy of like a boulder at the top of a hill, or top of a kind of like hill. And to start off, it's kind of like a gentle incline. You have to push and push and push to get that boulder moving. But once it starts rolling, it gains momentum. But most of us kind of like flunk out at the pushing stage. This is why I said Saint Nike, however you want to say it, they nailed it with their slogan, their slogan, which is just do it, just do it. And often it's as simple as that, just fucking do it. As I said, it doesn't matter about getting it right, it matters about getting started. It doesn't matter how you begin, only that you begin. And it's about, as I said, the opportunities often create themselves once you start to take action. So if, for example, you wanted to find a partner, and I won't use the perfect partner because there's no such thing as perfect, but say you were looking for a relationship, if you're not preparing yourself in any way by like imagining who that partner is, what kind of person do you want, what kind of relationship do you want with them, how are you making space in your house, have you made space in your wardrobe for that partner, are you looking places, like for me personally, not that I'm in a rush, but I went onto a spiritual singles dating site because I thought if I get in a relationship I want it to be with someone who's like-minded. So I took action. Same as trying to build my business. I have been enrolled on courses to help me develop a business mindset because nothing is going to happen until I take action. But so many of us wait. We wait for the right time, wait till we feel ready, wait for this, that and the other. We wait for motivation to strike. As I said, motivation is just a reason for doing something. It doesn't get you up off the sofa and getting you moving. And the thing is, we forget about the other laws, like the law of cycles. The law of cycles, everything goes in a cycle, everything in nature. You've got the cycles of the seasons, you've got the cycles of the days, you've got the moon cycles, you've got spring, summer, autumn, etc. Everything goes in cycles. We are humans, we are nature, and we have times when we find it easier to get going, where we are more energetic, where we're more creative, and we have other times when we need rest and we are more introverted. So we need to learn our cycles so that we can work them into our plans. So that if you're a bit like me and you have 1 week out of the month where you just have no energy and your brain just doesn't work properly, set in motion a plan for what you can do that week instead. And also remember that it's a bit like planting a seed. You know, if you plant a seed, imagine you've got your intention, you know what you want in life, you know what you want to have happen, you've planted the seed of intention. You're not going to stand there watching it thinking, why aren't you growing? Why aren't you growing? Why aren't you growing it? Is there anything happening yet? Anything happening yet? No, where are you? Something's not working. It's not working. It takes time to grow, but us humans are so impatient. You know, people may be trying to get fitter. They go to the gym for 2 weeks and quit because they haven't achieved the gains they want to achieve. So remember that law of cycles, things happen in their own time. What goes down must come back up again. And the more we take action, the more opportunities will open up to us. And just sticking to the just do it, remembering that you act your way into feeling rather than feel your way into acting. The 5-second rule is great for this. 5-second rule, a lady called Mel Robbins. Basically, when you're thinking about doing something and you can feel yourself feel a bit reluctant, a bit kind of like, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, you literally count down 5 to 0 and get up and go. So say your alarm goes off in the morning and you're starting to think, oh, I really don't want to get out of bed. You just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. And because when we start to think, oh, I don't feel like it, as I said in a post yesterday, our minds get so creative with the bullshit excuses that we can come up with. So creative. And I did a post the other day about the fact that I didn't start my program when I said I would because I'd gone into my ego, started talking about, oh, maybe people won't like it. What if people don't listen? Blah, 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 blah. What if people think I'm rubbish? And today I had the most amazing feedback from Jane, who's on here now. And it's like, I had zero evidence that people would think it's rubbish. And yet I was so willing to believe that that might be true. And as I always say, faith and fear rely on us believing in something we cannot see. Yet we're always so ready to believe in the fearful thoughts, despite having no proof, instead of the faithful thoughts that things will happen. But nothing will happen unless we actually get off our fucking asses and take that action. Another universal law is the law of flexibility, or also called the law of acceptance, which is accepting ourselves and others without drama, without criticism, without judgment, and embracing and making constructive use of the moment, even if it's not our finest. Everything serves the highest good. I had to write it down. If we have the best, if we make, the best possible light of it. Stumbling blocks become stepping stones and problems become opportunities. So in other words, accepting that whatever happens, it's happened. And we can either lose our shit over it, or we can use it as a stepping stone, which kind of ties in with our setting yourself up to fail. Accepting that the journey towards where you want to go is not going to run in a straight line. It's going to go all over the place. And you are going to hit stumbling blocks. But we can choose to use those stumbling blocks as stepping stones, as opportunities to learn, or we can choose them to go, oh, well, I knew it wouldn't work. I might as well give up. That's it. And the thing is, one of the reasons we procrastinate, one of the reasons we put stuff off, one of the reasons we just don't do it is because us humans spend our life moving away from pain and moving towards pleasure, which is why we'll often get an unhealthy takeaway in because it's easy, instead of cooking a healthy meal, because that takes time and effort. And so the thing to do is try and make your outcome, what you want, more pleasurable. So the example is, say you wanted to get fit, but you're sat on the sofa and it's cold outside, so it's painful to go out into the cold, into the dark. You're cozy and comfy on the sofa, you don't really want to get up. That's the pleasure bit. And you make it painful to get up and go out in the cold. Or you need to work, but you'd rather sit and watch television. So you need to make the outcome more pleasurable. So focusing on the fact that if you go to the gym, you'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel you've achieved something instead of feeling like, oh, that's it, I quit again. You'll be healthier, you'll be happy in the long run, and make that image more pleasurable. How will I feel when I can fit into my clothes? How will I feel when I can wear a bikini on the beach? How will I feel when I have the energy to run around after the kids and do X, Y, Z? You know, or thinking about working instead of watching television, and that leads to you building a successful business, which then leads to financial freedom. So even though the working is painful compared to sitting and watching television, which is pleasure, the outcome, financial freedom, is far more pleasurable than sitting on the sofa. And mistakes show that you're moving in the right direction. Along with setting yourself up to fail, knowing that we'll make mistakes, knowing that we'll make mistakes along the way, and everybody does. Absolutely everybody makes mistakes. Because what was the saying? He who never made a mistake never made anything. And we use those mistakes to learn from. So whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is your aim, your intention, your dream, just do it. Take small action daily. Remember the law of action. Also the law of potentiality, which is that anything is possible, basically, that we all have the same potential to achieve our goals, our dreams. I'm sure you could probably think of at least a couple of people who are living the kind of life that you would love to live, who are doing the kind of things that you would love to do. Now, what is the difference between you and them? You know, we get stuck in this us and them. Oh, they're better than me. They must be more worthy than me. Bullshit. The law of potentiality is that absolutely anything and everything is possible until proved otherwise. So set your intention, know exactly what it is you want, but also accept that it may not work out exactly the way you want. So say you dream of like a tall, 6 foot, dark, handsome man who likes animals and likes walking in the country, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You could meet someone who ticks every single box, but is 5'10". Don't get, too anal about it, but know what you want, know where you want to go, and just do it. As Nike said, just fucking do it. Take the action, take the steps. Stop making assumptions that you know what other people will think of you. Stop making assumptions that people will judge you, because most people are so busy with their own crap, they haven't got time to judge anyone else. And those who would judge you are probably reflecting their own perceived inadequacies, because so many of us are fearful of taking steps to improve our life. We're fearful of doing something different because mostly everyone else is doing the same thing. So it takes a lot of guts to actually stick your head above the parapet and say, actually, I want more than this. There's more to life. I want more, and I'm going to get it. By taking the steps, by moving forward, by acting my way into feeling. And also you can ask yourself, how can I make this more enjoyable? How can I make it more attractive to me? Housework, perfect example. Put on some funky music and get going. But just know that their motivation is not going to come and strike you up the arse. Getting yourself going will give you that feeling that you're looking for. And once you can get rid of the doubts, get out of your ego mind of what if this doesn't work? What if I fail? What if? And remind yourself that if you can so easily believe those negative thoughts that, oh, it's not going to go right, it's then you can easily believe the opposite, that it will work, but maybe not straight away, that it will happen, but only if you get moving, that it can work for you, but only if you open yourself up to opportunities, because absolutely nothing changes if nothing changes. Life changes when you do. We spend so much time moaning about things, complaining about the way the world is, wanting our life to change, and yet we don't want to change. We're expecting life around us to change. But life is a reflection of us. Everything is a ripple effect. The people you're surrounded with, the money in your bank, your health, all those kind of things are a result of the choices and actions that you make on a daily basis, that I make on a daily basis. So if we want our life to change and get better, that starts with the person looking back at us in the mirror. It's as simple as that. And it just starts with one step and another step and another step and another step. And we will be, I don't know if we're doing it tonight, I can't remember if we're doing it tonight, we will be covering discovering our purpose, because it's like Dharma. Dharma is our purpose. What are we here to do? What are we here to give? Because we spend a lot of our life, the first part of our life, kind of learning, growing as spiritual beings. And then after that, we have a desire to share that learning, share our gifts with others. And I know I changed it because there's a new moon on Wednesday. So it might be on Wednesday that we do that. No, that will be on, where are we? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, no, I've got to change it around. So tonight, oh, blonde moment. Tonight, in resolutions, day 3, we will be talking about discovering your purpose. What gift have you got to give the world? And the thing is, so many of us believe that we as one person can't make much difference. But you don't always have to be a Mother Teresa. You don't always have to win a Nobel Peace Prize. But if you've got a gift, whether it's reading cards, whether it's poetry, whether it's crystals, whether it's healing, whatever it is, if you've got a desire, a passion, something you really, really want to do, it was put there in your soul by the divine intelligence that created you. It's there for a reason. And the only thing possibly stopping you is your ego mind, those fears and doubts that you've buried yourself under for the last however many years. And we will be doing that on day 4 of resolutions. So we're going through that as well, getting rid of any last little hint of self-limiting beliefs, stumbling blocks, things that you've been telling yourself, the reasons why you can't do XYZ. You're going to get them gone. Absolutely gone, 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 gone. So, I hope you found that useful. And no, the best thing to do, don't even think about it, just do it. Have a favourite song that gets you going, and then just do it. Just fucking do it. Enjoy the rest of your day, beautiful souls.